In this video, I will teach you how to make a phone case in a do-it-yourself manner. First, you'll need a plastic phone case that's clear. Then, you'll need a computer and a printer because you'll want to print out your own template, something like this. Now, this one I printed out in black and white just to conserve ink for my printer, but you could do it in color too. Then, you place your pattern inside your phone. Now, it doesn't have to be an absolute perfect fit, it just has to fit in there. Then you flip it over and you can see the different lines. Now, I did this one mostly so that this way you guys could mainly see the results. Now, you can see this blank area here. I'm going to color that in on this video so you can see how it works. Now, you'll want to use Sharpie for this. For this, I used 3 colors. I used dark blue, purple, and light blue. As you can see, the dark blue and the purple turned out the best, so you'll want to use darker colors if you can. Now, you can also see that I changed the pattern a little bit at the top here. That was just me using kind of creative license on this. You don't have to. I just thought it would look better that way. So you can see I'm kind of tracing the pattern here and coloring in as I go. I personally prefer doing phone cases this way instead of freehanding it because I'm good with tracing, but not so much on the freehanding drawing thing, unless it's just plain old geometric shapes, but then you kind of need a ruler, so I like this method better. So you can see I'm coloring in. Now what I'm trying to do, and you can kind of see it here, is going over each spot twice. I already went over all my other areas 2 or 3 times. It tends to work better the more times you go over it because the color gets darker. You'll also want to do the sides of the case so that they're not left out. What I did, and you can see here, is I just used my dark blue and my purple, and I did half and half. I thought it gave it kind of a little bit of a cool look, but you could also do just one color if you wanted, or you could of course do no colors and leave that spot clear. The other thing you might want to have is a white surface. You can see my desk here is white. When I'm done with tracing the pattern, I take the pattern out and I put the phone on the white surface. It makes it so much easier to see if I missed spots. The lighter the color, in this case white, the better. It shows up easier. You also want to trace the inside of your holes in the case if you can, like your camera hole, so that that's not left just clear, kind of stand out. If that was the only spot on your case that was clear. Now if you plan to leave other spots like the sides clear, then you don't really need to worry about it at all. But you can see I just take the side of my Sharpie and I just trace it, just like that. So now pop out my pattern and you can see kind of that I missed some spots. So I go back over with the Sharpie now and I just make those lines a little bit sharper. Now if you wanted to really spice up your case too, you could also take like some sequins or any type of shiny little material like that and you could glue it on. Or if you wanted to trace your individual lines here with like black Sharpie, that would look cool and make them stand out a little bit more. So you can see I'm just going over the side again because I saw a spot that I missed. I gotta say, if you're going over every little spot you missed though, you're gonna be doing it a long time because when you're doing it with Sharpie, you end up inevitably missing lots of little tiny spots. It's probably best, honestly, just to leave them unless you're a perfectionist because you'll be at it all day. But I do try and get the major ones so that there's not any major little holes that are clear. You really want it perfect after you're finished. You might want to go over your whole case a second time. Okay, so I'm going to consider this done on this with my Sharpie. You can see there are lots of spots, little tiny spots like here that I missed, but I'm not going to keep going at it because that'll take forever. At this stage, the next thing you do is that you'd get some clear nail polish. Not nail polish remover, just clear nail polish. The reason for this is you're going to put a thin layer of that over top of your entire case, and that'll keep this Sharpie stuck on there so it won't rub off. So for me, I just picked up some cheapy NYC in a minute quick dry polish that I got at Target. You don't need anything fancy. You do want to make sure your case is dry though, so you're not putting Sharpie on the brush. I do that by just touching my fingers to it. Okay, so you can see I'm just using a little bit, and I'm just doing thin layers and going over the entire case. Now you can see it's actually smearing a tiny bit, so that means mine wasn't completely dry. Don't panic too much, that's okay. It doesn't give it that bad of a look. What happens in this case though is you want to make sure instead of just randomly doing it, you want to follow your own lines. So instead of just going right and left, you want to actually trace it as if it was a Sharpie. So you can see I'm just kind of tracing it. Now, if you wanted to just go ahead and smear it on, you could. This just kind of gives it the better look. See, I dropped a little bit there. Now, I'm just doing it on my desk. Probably not the best idea in truth. For the best look, you kind of want to use like, or not best look, just so you don't have a giant mess. You might want to put it on like a paper plate or something that's disposable. In this case, I do have nail polish remover on hand in case I get this on my desk. But personally, you know, don't care that much. Now you can also see at the bottom here a little bit that it's actually giving it kind of a wavy look. So I'm actually really pleased with the effect the nail polish has on it. If you're not though, you can always get a water-based sealant at Walmart and paint that on it. That would not cause this effect. Now, I just did zigzags as you saw, but you could also go further and you could put like your initials or something like that on top, or draw like a tribal design in black marker. Sharpie marker though, needs to be Sharpie on top, and there's lots of things you can do. Now I'm not going to make you watch me finish this entire case because that would be kind of boring, but just make sure to remember, got to get the sides too, every place you had polish. If you want it to have this kind of wavy design, make sure to follow the lines, not just go right and left. And you can do this with anything. In this case, like I said, I used the zigzag. You can check it. I have a link to this exact one if you want it. I just got it from Googling. But you could also do polka dots, whatever. Just keep in mind, if you're not doing a background, as in doing the whole thing one color, then you will end up with spots clear. And that'll just be the color of your phone. So if you have a case like rose gold, that might be really cool for you. You'll just want to make sure your colors go okay with whatever color your phone is. And that's pretty much it. I take suggestions for videos. I also do product reviews. I actually got this phone itself, this case, totally for free because I got the case for free in exchange only for my honest review. So if you're interested in having a product of yours featured, just shoot me a message and I'll do it. Or if you have any suggestions for DIY videos that don't involve expensive materials, let me know and I'm more than willing to give it a shot for you.